Hey guys, thanks for dropping by the channel today. In this video I thought I could teach you a lick that I stole from Josh Smith, and we can take a break from doing like a tone and gear style demos. If you don't know who Josh Smith is, he's just a really great musician, really well-rounded guitar player, and if you're into like blues or rock or stuff with kind of a jazz or influence or anything like that, just do yourself a favor and check him out. He's just a phenomenal player, one of my favorites. But enough about that, let's dive into the lick. Okay guys, so we just heard the lick, let's dive into what's behind the lick. Now this might seem like a little bit of information, but really it's simple. It is very simple, you just have to look at it and learn it and digest it. So this lick is based off of every guitar player's favorite scale, the minor pentatonic. In this case, specifically for this video, the A minor pentatonic. Now I'm sure we all know that scale, but if you know the A minor pentatonic, you probably only know, or maybe I'm wrong, but most people just know that it's this. Right? We're all familiar with that shape. But if you weren't aware, there are 5 shapes to the minor pentatonic scale. And this lick is found within the second octave of the second shape. So if A minor pentatonic, that shape, the first shape, was based here on A as your root note, you know you have A here, the second shape is based off of C, which, if you didn't know, just move it a few frets down, it's right here on the 8th. So that's C, in this case that's our root for the second shape. So let's hear the whole scale in the second shape based on C. And like I said, this lick is based here in the second octave. So now you know where this lick came from. Now, how do you remember what notes to play? Well, many things guitar related, if you're not looking at it in terms of notes because maybe you don't know them or you just prefer to think of them in shapes, that's how we're going to look at this one, in a shape. So the primary shape, yes, we have a root, which is E. But the primary shape we're looking at starts here on the B string on the 8th fret, otherwise known as G. So we go G, A, B, and then we have here on the high E string on the 8th, which is our C, we go C, D, and then to the higher E. So C, D, and the higher E, which, if you guessed it, this is an E and this is an E. They're both E's and that's an octave. So if we make our root on our second finger here on the 9th fret for the G string, which is E, and we just combine those shapes, but every time we go to a different note within those shapes we looked at, you just make sure you hit that E as your root. So we go E to G, E to A, E to B. Every time make sure you hit that root. And the same thing goes when you switch to your high E string. So you go E to C, E to D, and then E to your higher E, or your octave. So that's everything that's behind it, and once you put it all together and you use your, remember, use your, more than just a pick, use your fingers, use your pick in your fingers, hybrid pick it, you know, just make sure it's fluid when you do it, and when it's up to speed, that is your lick. Now, the fun thing about this lick is you don't just have to use it to connect your 1 chord to a 4 in a blues context. My favorite thing to do with this type of lick is add dynamic and maybe, I don't want to say outside playing, but I like to move my root in terms of intervals. And if you don't know your intervals, please learn them. We're not going to go over them in this video. If you know them, that's great. I'm just going to show you kind of what I like to do. So say we're jamming and we're in the key of E, or it's a 1 chord vamp, you know. It's that sort of a vamp, you know, that kind of a deal. One thing I like to do is just move it up a little bit. It kind of brings excitement. I get excited doing that kind of stuff. And honestly, a lot of times people in the audience, or even people you're jamming with that aren't used to that sort of a thing, they're like, wow, what's going on? This guy knows what's up. Well, the fact is, it's just really simple. Just move your root. But yeah, that's the lick I stole from Josh Smith, and it's one of my favorite ones too, and it's a great exercise, especially if you're not used to hybrid picking. Just take it slowly and do just your G and your B string just to get those fingers moving, you know, to do the hybrid thing. So take it slow. And just move it up until you have the whole thing. Alright guys, that was the lick. If down in the comments you could tell me what I could do to make better lessons for you guys. I can make backing tracks to drop in with the link to play along with it if you'd like to hear it in like a real style context instead of just learning it as another lick without tabs. Just please let me know what I can do to make my future lesson videos for you guys better. Alright, till next time, thanks again guys.